Sipho. We're live on Facebook, on Beatstar TV, or channel 92 on Topstar, which is countrywide. Then, of course, Livingston is with us, and Kabwe as well. So expect, and FM in Kitwe. So the Copper Belt, Kabwe, and most of Central Province, Livingston, most of Southern Province are listening in, and of course countrywide. So you have that picture as you market yourself, not only Chilanga, but also the government and UPND, I suppose, So just to get into it, you are almost at the end of your first time as a member of Parliament. How has it been in Parliament? How's been the experience?
Thank you so much, Yowela. I mean, this has been a journey, I'll tell you, Yowela, and I've learned quite a lot. You know, it has been quite challenging, faced a number of challenges, and, you know, it's not easy to deal with people, and, you know, the expectations of the Zambian people. When we came in as a UPND government in 2021, the expectations were very high. But I must say that as UPND, we've managed. We may not have done everything 100%, but I do believe personally that we've hit about 80%.
Okay, interesting. Let's focus on Chilanga. It's a vast constituency, about 12 wards. Of course, as you were campaigning in towards 2021 elections, you saw gaps that you were, campaigning for, so that at least as you become MP, you improve on those. And of course, even as you came in as MP in 2021, how did you plan to harness or improve Chilanga, and how far have you gone so far?
Okay, I must mention, Yowela, like you've stated, Chilanga is a vast constituency. You know, with 12 wards, I must state with a big population also, we're sitting at around 271,000, in terms of population. And I must mention here also that, Chilanga is probably the fastest growing district constituency, because we're one district, one constituency also in terms of population and also economic activity. So I must state that we've done pretty well, I must state, for such a big constituency. I mean, we've utilized our CDF, and apart from CDF, we brought on board the private sector also to supplement government efforts, and we've also seen some projects from central government come into the constituency. So we have tried. I mean, what we've seen in the past 4 years, Yowela, Chilanga has not seen in the past 15, 20 years put together. I must mention this. And all this is, we need to really appreciate is the policies of the UPND government and the leadership of the president, President Hakainde Hichilema, because these are some of the promises that he made when we were in opposition, and we can see these things are being done.
As you came in, it also was a time that CDF, the Constituency Development Fund, was significantly increased from what was prevailing then, which was 1.6 million, to subsequent. I think the initial one was about 20-something, then went on to what we've had until the most recent increase, 36 million. With this sort of amount in CDF funds, CDF, how would you say you've utilized your funds? Would you be satisfactory in terms of disbursement of the CDF across the board, whether it's the loans or projects within the Chilanga constituency?
Of course. I mean, like you rightly stated, Yowela, we found it at 1.6. Immediately, when we're in opposition, the president actually told the Zambian people that, look, we'll increase CDF to $1 million. And today, I must state that as of today, our CDF, the 6.1 is we are sitting at about $1.5 million, which is actually more than he promised, because we moved from 25.7 million kwacha to 28.3 million kwacha, then it moved to 30.6 until now it's at 36.1, and next year, I'm sure you heard this, we're going to 40 million kwacha. Now for us in Chilanga, I must state, we've utilized the CDF in the different sectors. I'm talking education, the health sector, the social aspect, and we have tried to distribute the CDF amongst the 12. At least we've seen every corner of the constituency receive a fair share, because we cannot only prioritize certain areas. So for us, in Chilanga, we've avoided playing politics, and we have delivered, given the CDF according to the needs. Because Chilanga is a peri-urban constituency. Some people think Chilanga, where you find Chilanga, Mundawanga, I think that is Chilanga itself. But Chilanga has got the rural part also. You go to Mwembeshi, You know, people think Mwembeshi is in Mwembeshi constituency when it's in Chilanga. Mwembeshi, you have Mundengwa, you have Nakachenje, Kacheta areas. All those are the rural part of the constituency, I must state. And they have received, you find words like Mwembeshi and Chinyanja were areas that were lacking behind, that didn't even have, you know, just basic facilities, you know, the needs, like health facilities and all. But this time around, using the CDF, we've managed to put up health posts in Mwembeshi. We've put up a health post in Kacheta. And so these are just some of the few things that I must mention that we have done. Especially one of the cries of the people of Chilanga was mainly the issues to do with the roads and the water. And these are the things that we're tackling. You know, we've put up solar water systems in different parts of the constituency. You know, Chilanga has got a very big road network, I must say.
Oh, yes.
We have 654 kilometers of road network in Chilanga, I must state, and of that 654, only 154 is tar road. The other 500 is the feeder road. So this is why one of the first things we did when we came in was to purchase machinery. We purchased, so far we've purchased 2 graders, we've purchased a water bowser, we have a roller compactor, we've purchased a TLB, another tipper, so we have 2 tippers, and just to help. But apart from this, so you see, the people of Chilanga need to also know that we cannot work on the entire 500 kilometers of road at a go. So this is why every year we allocate an equal amount of road to each ward. And that is how you see, maybe we work on 10 kilometers in Kasupe, 10 kilometers in Yemba, 10 Mwembeshi, Chilongolo, New Farms, and we've done pretty well. I mean, you go there, especially this year, we've done pretty well, because local government, also Ministry of Local Government, came on board. This is where you see they helped us also with working on some of the roads, like the Manumpamba Road, 29 kilometers in Mwembeshi. We've seen the Mungri Road that goes right through to join Mwembeshi prison. RDA worked on that road. And we're going to see some roads being tarred. You know, we have 5.4 kilometer road in Kasupe that is going to be tarred. We have the road that connects from Mumbwa Road, Makeni checkpoint, going all the way to Makeni. That road is also going to be tarred. And these are just some of the few that we're seeing.
It's funny because most people will agree with me that when you speak Chilanga, you will think southern side of Lusaka.
Yes.
But hearing you speak just reminds me that even when you go western side, as soon as you leave, Zingalume,
exactly,
you get welcome to Chilanga Post, going all the way to Mwembeshi. Now, I'll digress a bit. When we look at the proposed constitutional amendment, there's an issue of delimitation. Would you be a big supporter of that, saying that Chilanga is so vast, considering that, you know, even as we speak of southern side and western side, even a bit of the southeast side, if you're on Leopard's Hill Road going further down, there's parts of Chilanga there?
You see, of course, Yowela, I mean, if we could even...
Because as an MP for this vast area, what would you score yourself in terms of performance in the last 4 years?
I could give myself an 8.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
You've done quite well, but it's quite vast. You could have done
it's
better.
Quite vast. It is very vast, not even quite vast, I must mention you well. And it's practically, you know, impossible to touch all the play. You know, people expect you to be there physically but you know, now that we're in parliament, people need to understand that it's not the same. You know, you cannot see members of parliament the way you saw them during campaign time. This must, because now we have all this work to do. You need to sit in parliament, you need committees, you are traveling also, and you know, all this work. So you take time. This is why for us, we've taken the opportunities. That is why, you know, I do not work alone. Firstly, I must state, this is why we have councillors. We have councillors, we have the WDCs that have come on now that are very active for the first time. Ward development committees, we have the CDF committees, we have the political structures also, where we have our district structures, we have the constituency structures, our wards and our branches also. So these people also play a role in all this that you see, all this that is happening in Chilanga. It is not done by myself, you know, it is collective. We're a team. And this is why we're able to score. As you know, in Chilanga, this is why we've seen all this development, is because we are working as a team.
Yeah.
Because if I was doing it alone, we are not going to do all this that we have done.
So you'd be happy if they cut Chilanga in half? So at least you take one half and another half is taken by another MP?
Of course, it would have, we would even have loved to see 3 constituencies. Because I'll tell you, Chilanga, if you put Matero, probably Lusaka, Centrum, and Devu together in terms of size, Chilanga is still bigger than these constituencies put together. So it's a vast constituency that needs delimitation. And you know, like you mentioned, the bigger part of Chilanga is actually on the other. You know, people think it is Chilanga main, but you come Mungwi Road, Mumbwa Road, that is where you have big populations, and this is where the constituency is really growing. So people don't think, you know, a lot of people don't know that Lusaka West, Kasupe areas are part of Chilanga also, but that is Chilanga, and that is the bigger part of the constituency also.
Interesting. Looking at how big the constituency is, and right now ECZ is undertaking voter registration.
Yes.
How has it been implemented? Are you satisfied? Because there's been concerns that the period is too short. Also, I think there's issues of equipment malfunction, but overall, do you feel, looking at a vast constituency like Chilanga, do you feel a month period of ECZ voter registration was enough to capture the desired numbers of electorates?
Well, I believe ECZ should actually extend, because the turnout has been low, I must state, but the past few days has seen an increase in number, you know, because there's been sensitization also, a lot of sensitization, so a lot of people are coming on board, especially the young ones, you know. In Chilanga, I must state that, you know, ECZ had a target of 51,000.
Okay.
Because our last count, the voters registration as of 2021 was 72,000 for Chilanga. So we had a target of 51,000 this year. Additional. Yeah. So far, I think they've touched at about almost 11,000 as of yesterday. That is the new registration. So we're pushing, and you see, everybody needs to go out and let, especially the young people. You know, it's not, because voting is not only a right, you know, because they, young people, should also know that voting also will be able to shape, they'll be able to shape their futures.
Of course.
So they need to go out, register, and go out and vote.
Yeah. Back to the CDF, there's been issues of non-repayment of loans across the board, not just Chilanga, but if you zero in on Chilanga, how much have you disbursed? Do you know how your disbursement in terms of loans has been, and importantly, your recovery?
Of course, I mean, from 2022, Yowela, I must state that we've given out 51 loans, totaling about 12 million kwacha. And the repayment has been extremely low. That is why this Friday, we've called all those who access the loans, and there's a meeting. They have to sit to the CDF committee, because the repayment is very low, below 20%, I must state, which is not good.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, I'm open and I tell people that, you know, this is, it is not a good, you know, whether I call it a habit or what, by we, you know, especially we citizens, the Zambian people, the issue of paying back loans, we are not good, we are bad. But people need to realize that, you see, this is a revolving fund. Once they pay back, others also need to access. Because for us, when we sit, I'll tell you, when we sit as a CDF committee, we receive hundreds of applications. So you can imagine if you receive about 250 applications, and you can only approve about 20. Because in areas like Chilanga, everyone, it's only a few people who apply for less than the 200, you know, ceiling, because the ceiling for CDF loans is 200,000. So all businesses, should I say most of the businesses, apply for the 200,000 kwacha. Same as the grants. For the grants, you know, people apply for the 40,000 kwacha. And so far in Chilanga, I must state that we've given out 225 grants to the women and youth cooperatives and clubs, amounting about 8.8 million kwacha in the past 4 years. So we have given out some of these loans, but I must state that we need the people to start paying back. Because people think this is free money and they feel entitled. There's some, you know, the sense of entitlement also.
So sensitization around them knowing it's public funds is very important. Now, going forward, obviously, it's something that has worked well in some areas, but like you're saying, challenges in others. How can we enhance people repaying back loans? CDF loans going forward?
You know, this is why people need to realize. That's why people start, you know, they think the banks are difficult, they don't support Zambian businesses. But when you see this and you see the repayment from the CDF, then you understand why the banks make it so difficult for people to access. You need to provide all the collateral. And you know, with the CDF, it's collateral free. You just apply, get, and you need to just pay back. So we just need to make it a habit and put it in people that, look, a loan is meant to be paid back so that the next person can also access it. And this is one of the ways that we're also going to grow our economy. So this is what we need to understand also as Zambian citizens.
Interesting. The other thing that program that was an empowerment program under CDF was Cash for Work, which local government suspended due to they found some issues around how this money was used. In Chilanga, would you say it's the same scenario? Does Chilanga fall in the scenario where people are, some people are being paid but they don't actually do the work, then others are owed money?
I must state that, okay, we have actually faced that where some people don't work, but you see the WDCs, we've made sure that they come out strong and make sure that people do the work for what they're paid for. You know, you can't be paid for nothing. And we have a backlog, but as of a few days ago, yesterday, the other day, people were being paid, though still more need to be paid. And I must state that so far in Chilanga, we've had just above 39,000 beneficiaries, and the council has paid out slightly over 23 million kwacha to the beneficiaries. We still have a backlog of about 13,000, and the council needs another 8 million kwacha or so to pay the remaining balance.
Do you think CDF has been a good model of decentralization?
It definitely has.
Looking at the challenges, any room to improve? Has it been the perfect model?
You know, there is actually room to improve, but it has really worked. I must speak for not only Chilanga, but the general, especially the rural parts of the country. I must state, you go out for the first time in the most remote places of this country, where they never ever saw a health post. People have health posts now where they never ever had maternity wing. People now have, they can see a maternity wing. Where they have the mothers' shelters and the police posts, the classroom blocks. For us in Chilanga, we've been putting up also a number of ablution blocks in the schools because, some schools, children were still using pit latrines. So you go to a number of schools in the constituency. This time around, we have put up ablution blocks. Because I must state, Yowela, for Chilanga, we've had 64 projects from 2022. Totaling about 64 million kwacha. Yes.
Indeed. What would you look at as a project that gives you pride over the years that you've implemented, whether under CDF, but importantly under your tenure as Member of Parliament?
For me, I must state, I'm looking at the education sector. With the coming of the free education, by this government, the UPND, there was demand for classroom space. So under the CDF, we've put up a number of classroom blocks. You go to Lusaka West, you go to Shampule. We've put up, but I must state that outside CDF also, as Member of Parliament, I've also managed to lobby. And one of my biggest achievements, I must state here, is the construction of a 35 million kwacha, a secondary school at ZNS Safari. Which I personally managed to lobby from the United Capital Fertilizer. I approached the chairman, Mr. Wang of United Capital Fertilizer, and asked him to say, look, we've got such a big industry in the constituency, but what are you going to do for us under the corporate social responsibility? And he answered me. It was just a formal, informal conversation, a casual conversation that we had. And he was like, look, Honourable, what is it that you want me to do for you? And I said, we need a school. And he said, look, find me the land and I'll build a school for you. That is how I approached the ZNS commandant, Lieutenant General Solochi, and asked him to say, look, ZNS has got, a lot of land in the constituency in Lusaka West. And we had meetings, after meetings went to see the land until they approved, and they managed to allocate as a piece of land at ZNS Safari, and if you go there now, there's a secondary school that is being constructed.
Yeah.
And this will be a model school, I must state, Yowela, because not only are they putting up the houses, administration, the classroom blocks and ablution blocks, but even after that, I still went to them to ask them to say, look, are you able to put up a sports facility, which they have agreed to?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going to put up a swimming pool, they're going to put up a modern football pitch, because you know, well, I must state that in Chilanga, there is a lot of talent, I'll tell you. So this is one thing that we also need to look into. It's not only about putting up the classroom blocks or putting up the secondary schools, but we need to tap into that talent, especially sports. You know, you can't keep getting children from the private schools, you know, who are in the Zambia national swimming team, who are in the football, but there's so much. You go into the compounds, you go into the rural, the villages, there's a lot of talent which we need to tap into. And I will encourage also the rest of my government also to look into that we need to put up more, you know, sports facilities around the country so that we can be able to tap into that talent.
Yeah. A month ago, the president met UPND officials at Mungushi International Conference Center, and I remember a statement that he made was around people saying that the president will pass, but some members of parliament and councillors will not. Are you safe?
You know, there is no...
You'd feel that, how's my performance? Because I won't lie to you, if you drive around some areas of some constituencies within Lusaka, the sentiment is, no, this one, if they go ahead with this one, they will not pass, unless if they give us somebody else. But did you feel like you are one of those on the radar for, you know, good performance or bad performance?
I mean, for me, people must base it on performance and not the color of my skin or me being Sipho, being Hlazo. They should not, you know, hate me for that. But I'll tell you, Yowela, today, you know, being in this position, I'll tell you the most hated person in this country today is a member of parliament. And you sometimes sit and wonder why. What is it that the people expect the member of parliament to do? Because you see, the president does not work alone, and the president cannot work alone. So you see, that was something that just came from opposition. And why is it, for me, I question to say, why is it that they only talk about the UPND members of parliament? When we have opposition, we have PF members of parliament, and we've got independent members of parliament. But why is it? So this is something that started with the opposition. But it will not work. And this is why the president stated that, you know, you cannot. You know, you cannot do everything within a term, including a government. I'll tell you, the UPND government has done extremely well, I must state. But look, this is only 4 years. Look at what we are doing in terms of the recruitment in the health sector, education sector, in governance. I'm telling you, look at the issues of fighting corruption. We are not just stating it, but, you know, we're not, it is being done. These are things that, you know, we said we would fight corruption, and corruption has been done. I mean, it's been fought. You are seeing all the convictions also out there. So anyway, going back to the issue that you stated of members of parliament, councillors not coming back. I mean, the thing is, the Zambians also should question themselves, say, what is the role of a member of parliament? What is the role of a councillor? You know, you put up all this infrastructure and all, but the people will say this one is not performing. So what is it that they expect the member of parliament to do? They should start stating, say, we expected A, B, C, A, B, C. But I must state that it is not the duty of a member of parliament to dish out money. These things happened in the past. But people need to realize that that money that was being dished out in the past is the monies that they are seeing now that is coming under CDF. This is the money, this is why we've seen an increase in CDF. Because previously, the people of this country were being fooled by them being made to line up and given these 100 kwachas and given money, but that was their money. That was the money that was supposed to be channeled towards this, all this development that we are seeing coming up in the country.
Load shedding. I know you've raised issues around good performance around recruitment of teachers, health workers, but load shedding is that dark cloud hanging over your head. Not just Chilanga, not just, you know, countrywide. And just 2 days ago, the president did say that, I think as a government on energy, I can say, if I can paraphrase, he said we failed. Do you agree with that? I mean, could we have done better?
No. I think maybe he was misquoted from saying that we failed. We have not failed. I mean, looking at everything that is being done now, all the solar projects, all the energy projects that are coming on board, because I must state, Yowela, that this should have been seen years ago, and you cannot blame the UPND government, and neither can you blame the PF government. I'll tell you, this should have been planned way long ago, probably in the 90s, to say, look, we are seeing populations grow, and there is need to change, to diversify also. So that is when these energy issues should have been planned. We would have not been in this problem as a country if those that were there 20 years ago planned for the future.
Yeah, I agree with you because, just in discussions with friends, we do say that, some of the issues or problems we face today, if you go back from independence and all the presidents or governments we've had, some of the issues could have been sorted out so that today we shouldn't have been pointing at lack of road infrastructure, energy and things like that. But notwithstanding all that, what is the best way forward for the government to make this not be a long-standing problem?
No, this is why I must state, Yowela, there are a number of projects that are on board, but you see, it is a process. These things do not happen overnight. We've seen the Chisamba project, even in my constituency. You've seen the project, the plant that has come up under United Capital Fertilizer, who are now pushing back about 40 megawatts into the national grid. And let me say it's actually 85, because they had actually 40 in the beginning from ZESCO, which they've given back, plus the extra 40, because they've put up an 80 megawatt plant. So they're only utilizing about 40. The other 40 is going to come back into the national grid. So these are just some of the few that I must mention. You go to Makeni area also, you've got Sunrise, who are also in the process of putting up a plant there. Probably about 100 megawatts, I believe. You have Oriental also, who are also planning to put up a plant, and so many plants around the country. These have been mentioned every other day. And by next year, this time, I believe we'll see a reduction, much reduction in the load shedding. Probably we won't see any load shedding if most of these projects are, come to life.
All right. So maybe we'll move a bit towards the general, political landscape. But I'll before we open phone lines, I would like the viewers and listeners to come and to join us. Do you have any challenge within the UPND or even just opposition that you feel is a threat to you as MP? Based on your performance, and even as much as the opposition will make noise, I'm sure within the ranks you may have one or two people that you feel they might be eyeing your seats. Are you comfortable with your position?
You see, for me, I tell people that there were people before me, there were MPs before me, I'm here now, and there will be MPs after me. So for me, this is just a passing phase. The people decide to give me another mandate, 2026. That would be good. After, for me, I told myself, look, I do 2 terms, give chance to another person to come on also. And we need to work that way. And this is why, you see, for us, Chilanga, I'll tell you, for me, I've not played politics for the past 4 years, because you see, the more you politic, the more development suffers. You will be politicking at the expense of development. And I've kept Chilanga out of controversy. This is why Chilanga, you've seen, has been quiet, because I, as Member of Parliament, have played a certain role to make sure I keep the constituency out of all the controversy. We've seen in the past what kind of leaders we had there putting the constituency in all this controversy, but for me, I have not played that part. And this is why politics, we will play. Come next year, and you see, Yowela, this is why the UPND has done so well. I'll tell you, that's why you come to Chilanga. In Chilanga, there is no opposition. I must tell you. That is why everybody, whoever wants to stand as MP in Chilanga, is eyeing to stand on the UPND ticket. So this is where all the politics is played. It is being played now within ourselves in the UPND in Chilanga, because everyone is fighting. And I tell people, say, look, do not fight me. We do not play politics, or, we should debate and, face each other on ideas, what you do not on the color of my skin, on me as an individual. That kind of politics is long gone. And this is what I tell especially a lot of young people, that you see, the more you come onto social media, don't go and attack people based on them being as an individual. You look at what they have done. But you see, that is all the opposition are doing now. They are not coming up with solutions.
Yeah.
You know, people are coming up saying, no, I will need to be president to change, but they are not stating what is it that they're going to do. Nobody seems to be coming to say anything they're going to do better than what President Hakainde Hichilema has done. Because I'll tell you, those are going to be big shoes to fit, President Hichilema's shoes. I will tell you, whoever is going to come in as next president has got a very, very big job to do.
Interesting.
After 2031, that is.
Interesting. We have Honourable Sipho Hlazo from Chilanga, who's the MP there. Is our guest on today's political podcast. To open phone lines just to allow the viewers and listeners to join and pose some questions to the Honourable or even just contribute. So the phone lines, Zamtel is 0955 997 997 and 0979-192-485 is the Airtel line. We actually have a caller on Zamtel. Good morning. No, Kabuino, good morning. So, sorry, just come again. You're calling from where? Okay. 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 Please go ahead with your contribution.
No, thanks so much. Over corruption. We fight corruption, but we are all aware as Zambians. Some container, I'm not medicine, ya pesa kwa diamondiza ushoja mlabu apinga just one containers anamanji wao alikusenza government because we are all affected in terms of medicine. Then two, ushomkula hapa kwa polisi ja ungenabo kula kwa polisi anamanji wao alikusenza government. We are all aware of Zambians. Then in terms of CDF, Nzanda direct kuliwa bakinkulu MP ratu. Inaona CDF ndrama pane itera but ma project constituency sia oneka ushe who is benefiting kapena ma project sia oneka but ndrama zenda zikwera who is benefiting
ni constituency wanju kwa Fraser
Kanyama
ni concluding ni over. Okay, forget. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll take another call. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much, sir. Please turn down the volume on your end. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Mr. Msanje calling from Kanyama Central, Zambia.
Mr. Msanje from Kanyama Central. Please go ahead. We've got Honourable Hlazo in
Honourable, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Msanje.
Honourable, we are delighted.
Thank you so much.
Keep on coming, those people. Bible inakambira kuti muzangana na vantu vali na maso komasivaona matu vali nayo komasivamvesesa. Me who is connected to the constituency, connected to your constituency.
Yes.
I am able to see what you have done. That's why tikamba kuti sichito zano Honourable. Izi zakukambirani. Apa manje even vaja vamene vezo isura CDF mukafunza kuti unalepera ku constituency yako vamba kuiona manje kuti iya nilamanga na ine ili vaso. So continue, Honourable, we are behind you. That's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Msanje. We'll take one more call, then you can just comment. I know Mr. Fraser from Kanyama came through to state his position. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please speak up. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Mr. Sakara.
Mr. Sakala, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from Chilanga.
From Chilanga. Please go ahead. You've got your member of parliament with us in studio.
Nikuna nisambeko pari CDF ya noa kamba ya kuti bintu vambili vone kofeska wakuru wali kutogoro especially machama na wama ndana yewa kudiandra mapeze katuise wangona ntishte ya prime maroni ya japalbe vanzishtika so waonade kwa watunga watenge noti.
Okay.
Ewe vavona vishtika but festive vona vishtika manshito kolite.
Okay. Zikomo Masakala. So let me allow you to respond. We've got some more calls coming in, but at least we take it 3-4 at a time. You can go ahead, Honourable.
Thank you so much. So I'll start with Mr. Fraser. Who spoke about corruption. He spoke about medicine at Zamsa, the made 61 containers and Mukula. And I must mention to Mr. Fraser that you see, we as the UPND government are fighting corruption, but we have not yet zeroed. Corruption has been there in the past. Corruption is still there under the UPND government in the civil service, I must state, but it is not as it was in the past. I'm telling you, you cannot just close in on corruption. It is, you know, there are so many ways that people, you know, are doing these things, but the UPND is really trying to fight it, and it cannot all be done in one time. I mean, talking of the medicines, I mean, we all know that there are some people that were dropped, there are some people that were actually are being investigated. I don't know how far that has gone though, under this issue of the medicine. So we need to give it time, and we're yet to hear, because the president is serious about the fight against corruption, especially the issue to do with medicine. And you know, there was actually a proposal that, you know, there should be some serious punishment consequences to those that steal medicine, because that is actually, you know, playing with the lives of the people. And that is something that all we Zambians need to support, because we cannot allow few individuals to start stealing medicines and people go to hospitals and find there is no medicine. It is not right. So these are some of the things that we need to be supported. He spoke about CDF in Kanyama, and he mentioned the MP, but you see, he needs to go to the constituency office also. Needs to go to Lusaka City Council and find out, because you see the problem that is there also, I must mention, Yowela, is that what some people do is that if they do not benefit directly, they say that CDF is not working, but they can see that the neighbor has benefited. But as long as you don't benefit as an individual, you start to say CDF is not working, which is not the case. You see, CDF in any given year cannot benefit every single person. And you look at a constituency like Kanyama, look at the population of Kanyama. Kanyama is one of the biggest, if not, in terms of population in this country. So you cannot give everyone at the same time. I can only imagine the number of applications that they receive. So that's why people need to keep applying, and that's why there is need to also, I mean, that's why the CDF keeps increasing every year. But one thing I would also propose is that, you see, we cannot have all the constituencies receive the same CDF. You know, what needs to be done in the future is to look and see which constituencies are of need, because some constituencies are more developed than others. Look at a constituency like Chilanga. Chilanga today is this vast constituency with a big population, yet we don't have a district hospital. I must state, though, we've been promised that we're going to see 3 mini hospitals come up. One will go to Chilanga, one will go to Mwembeshi, one is going to come to Kanzimva in Namalombwe, which we've been assured, but we needed a district hospital also. Because you go to Chilanga this time around, people move all the far, you know, from these, you travel long distances to access good health. They'll have to go to UTH, to Kanyama also, and this is why we've put up also some of these health posts. But some of them need special, you know, things like X-ray, you know, machines. And though I must state that we have been given an X-ray machine, which we're putting up a radiological room in a building in Chilanga. You go there now, it's almost complete, and the machine was actually delivered. It's yet to be installed. So for the first time, this is the first X-ray machine that we have in the constituency. So people will be able to access that soon. Good.
We've got Mr. Sakala from Chilanga. The caller there.
Mr. Sakala also spoke about saying machairman de bachita benefit kulibe manchito. You see, this I must state that Mr. Sakala, you know, when they see things, and for sure if he has that evidence that is only chairman, let them bring it on board. I mean, we have an open door policy. They can go to the council, they can come and bring, you know, all that, because, you know, people must not base some of these things on just hearsay and spread some of these rumors. Let them bring them on board to show, to prove, to say, look, this is the chairman that I know from whichever chairman that he means are benefiting, so that we know. Because you see, we simply receive applications, we don't receive them as individuals. We don't even know exactly who those individuals are as CDF. All we receive are the business, the applications with the business names and all. And we just approve depending on the projects that have been proposed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. We can keep calling. I've missed a few calls. 0955 997 997 or Airtel 0979 192 485. We've got a caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Kings in the voice of Chamba Valley.
Mr. Kings from Chamba Valley.
Yeah.
Please go ahead quickly so that we give a chance to others.
Okay, thank you very much. Honourable.
Good morning, Mr. Kings.
Very much, sir. I try to approach.
Mr. Kings, your line is breaking. Please just maybe.
My line is breaking.
Yes.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. You are.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to approach the member of parliament. Just continue and bringing the development in our societies. We'll continue supporting the president with the good policies which we've already seen, like free education and the like. Continue fighting the corruption, because people, they have that ability of mentioning other people to say this person is involved in corruption, but they don't have evidence. So we should deter ourselves with such kind of mentality. Actually, that's what I just wanted to say. My honourable, work well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kings.
Yeah, we have another caller. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Mauka.
Tauka bwanji mayo. Paseni zina lanu na kwe mchokera.
Amaka Angela nchumila pa garden tirulu. Honourable mulipwa?
Bwino mwako bwanji Amaka Angela.
Yauka. Honourable kirungamo ntakuti kukamba tabe kirungamo mukamba tipoma yano ya sevenza Honourable iyo iya tinzagwirizana naye. Tikangana mavuta anetipitamo Honourable mukabwera lokuti muone wamena agurisa lero kuti mavuta amena pitamo yali bwanyi. Under government yanu vintu vakosako Honourable kuzani chirungamo. Always watu ma business tungoro niyo kosa. Iyo mukambati CPF isevenza chani kulibe Honourable ni manjala eka mukayangana. Cost of living ili high. Ero ngani kintukulu yati paya ni malaiti. Because malaiti ndiya driver in economy. But mukayangana vintu kivienda kamba malaiti. Wababa shopu weo dawa saluni kuma industries wana manjito wa imili ya kamba malaiti. So vintu kivili bwino Honourable kukuza nchabe chirungamo. Olo mabwera pa ground kuzunguruka. Things are not okay.
Yeah,
not that vintu vili bwino. Kapena kumbali kwani. Ero kaningani ya corruption yeve. Paribu na fighting ya corruption. Makontena huko. Nanga vijavina pezeka pa airport. Na manje tuwa airport.
Okay, so como Amaka Angela. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Yowela.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you? Good morning, Honourable.
Good morning, madam.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, this is Charity. I'm calling from Kitwe.
Charity from Kitwe. Please go ahead.
Yes, now for our Honourable for Adelanda, some of things are said. Phiri Winosana has done a lot, but I have a question. I want you asked me a question, but Tabachi aska Wino. What are you going to do about the issue of load shedding and also problem Yamenshi, because we have a problem Yamenshi Zambia and also the issue of load shedding. So you as a UPND Honourable, what are you going to do about these two issues that as Zambians we are facing? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Charity from Kitwe. We will pause right there for calls to allow Honourable to respond. It's only fair for him to respond at least before he loses thought process. Go ahead, Honourable.
Thank you so much, Yowela. So I will address the issue from Amaka Angela, who's saying the cost of living is high, which I must state that we'll agree to that. And she's saying there is no fight against corruption, which is not true. I mean, we've stated, we've seen the convictions that have been there, And, we cannot do everything at once. And mainly, this is the same part of the same issue that Madam Charity from Kitwe is talking about, the issue of load shedding.
Yeah.
Load shedding is what has led to the issue of the high cost of living. Businesses have suffered, and that, as the UPND have agreed to say, we have accepted that this for sure is the big problem that the Zambians are facing.
Yeah.
But we need to also understand as Zambians that this problem of load shedding cannot be tackled overnight, within a short period. This is why we've seen all these projects that are coming on board. I must state that it's probably we have not done a good job as a government in terms of communicating to the people and letting the people know what projects have been lined up on board for us to sort out the load shedding problem. I mean, if it was anybody else, I must tell you, Yowela, it's just that we have a hard-working President Hakainde Chilema, who is always moving, and with his good connections, his communicating skills, he's been able to bring on board some of these, people, these foreigners, to come and put up some of these projects also in this country. So the people of Zambia, all we ask Tipempa from the Zambian people is, please be a little bit more patient with the Zambian. We've tried this. You've seen the government has put up some generators in market places and all, just to help the Zambians in terms of those with the barber shops, those with the salons and all. And this is why also we are prioritizing under the CDF is to give out some of these small businesses that have applied for issues like solar equipment and also, that they can boost their businesses and they cannot complain anymore. They cannot be affected by the load shedding because they'll be able to access this. And this is what we're doing in Chilanga. We're focused on those that are applying for irrigation systems, putting up generators, solar equipment. This is where our focus is on.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so 0955-997-997, that's Zamtel, and then 0979-192-485. We've got a caller. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning. Your line is quite bad. Good morning.
Good morning. Am I clear?
Not very. Please just maybe shake up a little bit. Try again, or you can call us. I see you're trying. You're calling from Zamto.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Okay, please go ahead.
Honourable Mwape Bwanje Mashuki ni Mwabuka Buti Muzire Chwani Mwakata Mwabuka Burongo.
Kaboto Mwabuka Buti.
One Zambia Nation. This is Uncle Direct Common himself, the Mr. President of Kanyama. Thank you, Mr. Honourable. Well spoken, my brother. Because in the UPND, the issue, my brother, at hand right now, as I'm speaking to you, the issue of road shedding. Yes, Kiriawe, I want to road shedding. That affects me, Makambira Kudala. Road shedding is thing I see is a player, Papa. For my time, I made him Kapulanga.
Hello? Hello? Okay, we seem to have
lost him.
Yeah. Maybe network issues, but obviously he was touching on load shedding. Please call us again if you can. 0979-192-485 or 0955-997-997. We've got another caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Honourable.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Fred from Kawata now.
Mr. Fred from Kawata.
Fred Kawata, okay.
Yes, Honourable. I think you are spot on. You know me, I'm from Jack, so I usually visit Chilanga, even Osaka West, that place. I know it very well, and we have seen a number of things that you've done, especially there.
Okay, we've lost Mr. Jack, unfortunately. Please call again if you have to. Hello, good morning. We have another caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Amate George Kumatero.
Amate George Kumatero. Please go ahead. In our Honourable Hlazo from Chilanga constituency.
Honourable.
Amate George.
Bueno, also dada wako tena pankani mwanji nyaro shedding. Tizi watuza sebenza pa one time into but at least like kuli isameti chitairai munchito za kutubasebeza sama light is affected landlord sanga chitanda stand eva zafuna che zake zokwana and then wami imilikani Mwaona kabaka mbatawe malaita shita festi sigura siwe ya so much so mwevena ngwimirirani chitani bwanji mwaona mtianganeko tima vota bonse tima kuna kuchinja ko life yatu so batianganeko chepa mbali amene at least bazweko mwebanga titanjizire batati ndiye batate bachalo bafunika at least bayangana both sides baje bali na ndrama bali be pressure manje iso bamne tsenze bakuti bayizinga malaita Zankala bwanji let's say pa company wa America bantu bali 20 manje bonsa bali 20 bazankala kuti abenzi bazankala cheni majanki bambobera bantu we voted wisely tina vota tina samwa tina bilima tina kondwera so at least naso batikumbuke chabe noti baje abantu bali chepaja nje bamvera bwini banganeko nakulisa bamesitenga makani matupini masalad and then wakufisha patupini kwa nsako manje uzankala bwanji mkomboni bana uzabasunga bwanji
Zikoma make George.
So batanga ku mwanzini wa Honourable but how zinchito tiziona manje che kunkani yamene wa utasauka.
Okay. Zikoma make George. We'll pick one last call and then we allow you to respond. Good morning. Okay, we lost that. Honourable, please go ahead. I'll respond at least to 3 of those calls that you picked up.
Okay, so I mean it's the common. Others were just comments, but it's the issue of load shedding.
Yeah.
As usual, people appreciating, I'm sure everyone can hear most of the calls, people appreciating to say they're able to see, you know, some of the things that are on the ground in terms of CDF, what the government has done. But I must state, like what the lady from George, from Matero Amake George has stated, the issue of load shedding. But I must tell you, see, let me maybe mention it here, maybe I shouldn't say, but I must state that Amake George mukabayanganisisa this time ba president sibagona pali nkani ya load shedding. People need to know the president does not sleep. He has so much pressure regarding the issue of load shedding. I mean, there is no president who will want to see his people suffer. So people need to understand that it is not deliberate. These are issues that the UPND government found, but solutions are being found. Because we have a hard-working president, and that's why I make a George. Next time mukabaona president pa TV muanga ni sisi muzaona kumenswa at bamuna ba president abaonika bana pressure. Iyo pressure ni nkani ya load shedding. Sibagona pali nkani ya load shedding. But he's going to make sure the president is a man of his word and is an action-oriented person with a good team. I must state also that the president does not work alone also. He's got a good team, and this is why the issue of load shedding is going to be sorted out, and we're seeing things are slowly starting to happen. Yes, you are.
Indeed, we've lost that caller. We have another one. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning. How are you, Mr. Moderator?
I'm very fine, thank you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Philemon from Chitulika, Zambia.
Mr. Philemon from Chitulika, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Honourable.
Good morning. Yes.
Morning, Mr. Philemon.
Thank you. We are listening.
Okay.
Mr. MP, Bwana MP, I've got a question. If you go Sekedera Road, you know Sekedera Road, you know it.
That is where I live, actually.
Okay, very good.
No problem.
Okay, where tarmac ends there, you know. So people are asking, when are you going? Because we are still on my pipes, Munaika Mbali Road, you know, those my pipes for a long time. So when people are saying, when are you going to give us tarmac kuja? You know, then when you go with that road, but remember Pereda tarmac, you go, you find a farm, like Chipali village somewhere there. You know, Chipali village.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Chipali village. Even that Chipali village, Kujaban, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if it's Katuba or Chilanga. Chipali village, I don't know where it belongs to, Katuba or Chilanga, somewhere there. But Wafuna would Kutumukavasco grade that area. Matiska, Mukwatako grade, Mansi, Dala, but my road, what grade Nirako at least.
Okay. All right. No.
I think you know the area.
Yeah. No, thank you very much, Mr. Philemon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much from Chitulika. Yeah. We'll take one more call, Honourable, and then allow you to respond, and then we can wind up the show so that we allow you to move on with your program. Good morning.
Good morning once more. I don't know what happened. Honourable.
Yes, good morning.
Welcome back.
Why do you think you are fighting tough time? Because now we are in trouble even. Because this time it's very difficult to withdraw the money.
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead with your contribution.
So I think.
Hello, please go ahead.
Yeah. I think if I mean much that's from around the Honourable, since you can teaching to rich Karamba Bandu, Yashi Yama right. I'm right, and for sure not going to go to a president. Very punch to fire a farmer's Zambian. The Pavo Mufiashi, Unge Tarapanga, and Davana Valerian and Salata with the solution. Solution Mufiash, the Parunga Temakushikavana, Pamulandu and negligence. When you ask the Honourable. In top of Malanda, you will see Kankara in terms of a CDF, is short to them on a free education. First period, President Akande during an opposition, was telling us to say that the first period that I'm going to do is a free education. And for you, as I'm speaking to you right now, I think here in Kanyama, I'm on the ground always. I am having divided the Panchua Buruka from Kurama Fiesta, in Darama, Apama School. Yali sura questioning Yoki Pusha na Mazambia twi pusha ninchi ava neto bavulira mu masukuru maybe classing over ekishisho kyakuba ti president akainde chirema ali bomba kumono kweba taba na madeski yachepa so meaning therefore kumabati amasukuru yonse yapure n'abana bapure but bambi cyo understand Honourable ni change. It's a quever those people are just busy criticizing about the issue of free education. Whereby today I wonder how much money actually Mr. Honourable the government is pumping Guvana countrywide. Shishing Gendarama so fin to fin literate Tasha. What Gendarama Honourable as I conclude. What Gendarama is become a fiach na tuashirika pambale ati never fiach pale ni kwenda rama mpele government ni shinga Honourable. Sira tutote ko fin to fin resani pale na totera kanale.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sema from Kanyama. This is the gentleman whose call dropped much earlier. Honourable, you've got those few phone calls to comment, and then I'll take one more, then we can close the phone lines. Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, Mawambe Mkwai.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Wanapita kwa SOS.
Wanapita kwa SOS, okay, please go ahead.
Ya Mkwai. Ndande ko yo balela ndati ya IPD na babomba. Tisho abombelera UPND. Kwani chinga kwali wa mabao Honourable mwebali uko. Ninda bwe kumiposha mulishani.
Bwino mapoka sana banapita.
Kwali wa ma. Bantu bale chula background. Eko bati mwenga mwali ya mwai kutamlela malaiti nisha background bale ikuta. Abantu bale chula background. Peka lokwa bula malaiti. IPD na bafiro okubomba. Mule pesa fulale tula la aka indi profo babomba lo fimo. Yo free education balera ndeyo bale tafe kugubana abana abafula mu class bantu basanga ma private stress okubalipira mu private mwana economy na nshupa uche mwana yekale mu komboni bafaira mu government bala fe mu pusha ku fe chitakulia so ne temu ya lapo mwana tamu chongapo ucha tifinde ne mshako lecho fyalo bale tafe obukopo CDF yo tatimana fo ibomba proba del constituency shamla pesha bombo sha pesha CDF bala tibala bomba shia ku ise pesha CDF bicho fo shabomba fo tatwamona kwande chinga kwali wa abantu zabale chipagla ni finta fiweme findu apano mali blackout
okay no to thank you very much okay, that will be our last caller, so that we allow for it to respond. It's funny, she says free education has brought difficult, so please make a comment.
Yeah,
it's funny, most of the calls are from people in Kanyama, so it's funny, it's interesting. I'm sure you can share with the Kanyama member of parliament.
Of course, actually he needs to come here. The next your next guest should be Honourable.
Yes, I'll look for him.
I will tell you today, and
please do. These people are complaining, so please go ahead and we can wind up the show.
Thank you. I mean, let me touch on Mr. Philemon, who spoke about the pipes. He's talking about the culverts, actually, that on that road that leads to the graveyard in Sekelela.
Yeah.
So you see that road, actually, I must mention that's in Nyemba Ward. The machinery, actually, from the council is actually in that area as I speak. You know, it took long because that they had to divert the road because the road was passing through some private property, so we had to have a dozer in the area, TOB, just to break through a certain hill to construct the road. But I must state that this road is actually being worked on as I speak, with a number of other roads in the area. He must spoke about tarring of the roads, and you know, we cannot tar. Everyone's wish is to have their roads tarred, but you see, we are, you know,
all the way to my gate.
Yes, our, you know, the resource envelope will not allow us to, you know. I mean, if that were possible, to tar all the roads, not only the 500-kilometer of feeder road in Chilanga, but all the roads in the entire country.
Of course,
but you see, we have a government that is being fair and is allocating roads, tar roads in different parts of the country. I mean, it should not just be Chilanga. Everyone, every part of this country needs a fair share. And this is why we've seen the president has directed that we should see development in different parts of the country. Actually, people, you know, I must mention here, Yowela actually thought they were going to see a lot of development, more development in Southern Province than any other part of the country, which is not the case. Because we have a fair president, Yowela. We have a president who is not selfish. And you go to different parts of the country, you go to Muchinga, you go to Northern Province, you see the amount of infrastructure, you know, the projects that are taking place. It is unbelievable. And this is why, for me, I say, you know, Yowela, people may argue, but for me personally, I'll tell you that President Hakainde Chilema is going to make the best president this country has ever had by the time he finishes his tenure in 2031. Because looking at what he has done together with the rest of the team in the UPND in the past 4 years, Yowela, is unseen, is unprecedented. It's never been done before. People may argue, people may hate the man, but this is a hard-working man, and you cannot take that away from him. The day he'll be out of that office after 2031 is when people are really going to appreciate President Hakainde Chilema and say, this man really worked for this country.
We've got Madam Chilwa from SOS who says that free education, I'd like you to comment on that, as that's brought, you know, downness in the, you know, in the kids in the area.
You know, I'm sorry to state, but that is, sorry, Vanapita, but you know, that is, speaking from a point of ignorance, Yowela. I mean, the free education policy, we've seen recruitment of teachers. I mean, what do they expect? This government has brought on board opportunities. You see, when governments come in, they bring opportunity. It is up to you. You see, even what citizens need to also understand and know is that they also need to play a role. Government will bring all these opportunities, but it is you now as an individual to take up that opportunity and say, oh, I've seen opportunity there, let me take it up. Don't expect government to follow you home and bring things to your table and say, in drama is, you know, we need to get that mindset. We need to change the mindset. The issue of handouts, giving out free money is long gone. You want to have money, you need to work for it. It's simple as that, Yowela. And this is one thing that we need to understand as Zambian citizens. You cannot expect to have money without putting in the work. It's not possible.
Interesting. Honourable, as we wind up, I'll ask you just one last question. Your views on the constitutional amendment that's taking place right now. The technical committee is quite busy. And also, maybe your last words around encouraging voters and potential voters to go and register, because the deadline, the initial deadline for ECZ is 11th of November, which is this weekend. So maybe you can just wind up and make comments on those two items.
So anyway, I'd like to encourage the people also, you know, to know whenever the technical committee is in their area, in whichever part of the country, so that they can go and make their submissions also, so that when the time comes, they should not complain to say, no, we did not take part, we did not put our submissions. But I must state that there is a good support, I must say. Overwhelming people are going to make submissions. So far from what we are hearing, where the people are sitting. And the issue of voter registration, I would like to encourage people to go out and vote in numbers. Go out, those that don't have voters cards, especially the young people. You know, young people need to understand that, you know, it is their time. By simply voting, they are shaping their future. By simply go out there, register to vote, and get back, next year in August, come back and vote the UPND back into government for continuation, for this good governance, for all this infrastructure that we're seeing, for all the peace that we're seeing. They want more free education. This is why they need to go back next year, get their voters' cards, and go and vote back the UPND government.
Indeed. And your quick views on the constitutional amendment?
Yes, like I've stated, you know, this we have to support. And I would like to urge my fellow members of parliament, especially the issue of delimitation. I mean, everybody's looking at the issue of delimitation. We need more youth. Young people need to come out and support. That young people need to understand that they need to see more young people. I became member of parliament as a youth. I was 35 years old. But we need to see more young people in there. I'm not a youth anymore. I must state. I mean, if you follow I'm not a youth anymore. If we don't have this, I mean, we won't see any more youth in that parliament, I'll tell you. Because it is difficult, I'll tell you, Yowela, for a young person to participate in the politics of this country. It is difficult. It's not easy. Some of us were just that we are strong men, I must state that we managed to fight and get there. Especially for constituencies like Chilanga, it's not an easy constituency. So we need more women, and this is what the constitutional amendment is stating. You know, more women, those differently abled people, they are going to have a place also and make the decisions in that parliament.
But one would argue that even as they are pushing for fairness towards women and youth and differently abled persons, the committee itself is not made up of these three types of people.
No, I mean, if you do follow, I mean, get the list. I do believe there's young people there. There's a youth like the Ruth Kangwa. She's a young person. She's a youth. I must tell you, there is a differently abled person there. We have that some from the Muslim community, the Islamic community, the Muslims, the Hindus are all part of that grouping. So I think they just need to be brought out and people need to know who is sitting there. It's not true that some of those people are not sitting on the technical committee. That is not true.
All right. And on that note, Honourable Hlazo, thank you so much for coming to the political podcast here at Power FM.
Thank you so much, Yowela. And pleasant day to you and all the listeners out there.
Thank you very mumuch.
Thank you.
Well, that's it. That's the end of today's edition of the political podcast. We had Honourable Sipho Hlazo, who's the Member of Parliament for Chilanga constituency within Lusaka. For the callers that have are still calling, I can see the lines beaming. Unfortunately, we cannot take those calls. Please try again next week when we have another guest. Look out for what we do have next week. Otherwise, from me and the entire team at Power Media House is have a good day and God bless. But please, just a reminder, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Political Podcast, so that you catch up on the previous shows as well as just be aware of what comes right after. Otherwise, have a good day.